Hello everyone. Today I'll be going through the Mathematics U1&2 mini quiz for week 2. So there's only 2 questions, so I mean 3 questions. The answers on the screen. All right, cool. Let's go. So for the question 1, we need to identify the transformation from the original function, which is y equals to x squared, to the image function. So the usual way I like to think about this question is to do the changes one by one, right? So what I decided to do is to change from x into 2x. So keep in mind, right? The order of, like, you can choose to do whatever you want, like in order of transformation, as long as it makes sense at the end. So it's good to, I guess, write down what the transformation made, like has changed the function at the end of each step, just to make sure that you've got the right answer at the end. So for my approach, I decided to first dilate this function by a factor of a half from y-axis. So remember, when we're dilating from by a factor of something from the y-axis, it's always its reciprocal. So a half reciprocal is 2. So y equals to x squared becomes y equals to 2x squared. And next, I decided to do a reflection in the x-axis, which just added a negative sign to the front. So we get y equals negative 2x squared. Then I decided to translate a half units in the positive direction of the x-axis, which would just get the inner functions x, so basically the x inside, and minus a half because we're translating to the right, I guess. So that gives us y equals to negative bracket 2 bracket x minus a half, which is the same as 2x minus 1 squared. And finally, I decided to translate 3 units in the positive direction of the y-axis, basically 3 units up, right? And then we got this we got the function that we need to do. So keep in mind, for this type of question, there will always be more than one solution. So as it's just good to write down the results after each transformation to make sure that you got them right. Okay, so question 2. If f of x is equal to this and it's been dilated, it has undergone some transformations. So again, I think we do them one by one and then write down what each transformation does. So the first one is a dilation factor of 2 from y-axis. So remember, y-axis is always its reciprocal. So we add we times every x by a half, basically. So we will get something like this. And then we reflect in the x-axis. That just means timesing the whole thing by a negative sign, so by -1. So we will get from here to here. So we get this, the second line here. And the final one, we are translating this 2 units to the right. So for every x, we just do x minus 2 instead. And that will be our image function, basically. So for the last question, I think when I sketch graphs, I would always think about the general shape of the graph first. So we know that it is a logarithm, like a log e function. So which originally looks like this, right? But there is a reflection in the x-axis. So the final function basically will look something like this. So, and then like after this step, I will probably work out the asymptote. So to work out the asymptote of a log function, we just make the bracket here, inside here equal to 0. So we do 2x minus 1 equal to 0 and x equals to half. Therefore, we know there's a vertical asymptote at x equals to a half. Then we know the graph looks like this, so it must be on the right side of the y-axis. Therefore, we know that there will be no y-intercepts, but only an x-intercept. To work out the x-intercepts, which is this area here, we just make y equal to 0, and we got that x equals to e plus 1 on 2, which is I guess which is, we can just say that's around here, and we just complete the graph. Oh, actually, I forgot an arrow here. We should add arrows on both sides of our graphs, just to say that it is infinitely continuous, basically. Yep, so that's the Math Methods 1-2 worksheet. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to message me on WeChat. All right, see you guys next week.